Welcome to the Verdin Verdict Sports Show. Had to do urgent emergency reaction, if you will, G, from what happened in Nashville. LSU Vandy. Obviously, you saw the game, you saw the result. LSU lost. Disappointing game, but I just wanted to get your thoughts, G. Instant reaction. How you feeling? What are some takeaways you got?
I wasn't surprised by anything that I saw just now against Vandy. Uh, Pavia played lights out. The fourth down conversions, the plays off script, avoiding pressure and getting out of sacks and blitzes. He looked like he was out there playing backyard football, bro. And I think the obvious thing on the offensive side of the ball for LSU was they scored enough points to win this game, but in key moments, the offensive line let them down, bro. You go back to that fourth quarter when they had just came off the field and got a 3-and-out. DJ Chester gets bull rushed
Mm-hmm.
by the DN. He sacks the quarterback. The next play, Weston Davis gets a holding call after they got the third down conversion.
Yep.
And I thought that was a pivotal moment in the game that took some momentum from LSU's offense. And the next play, Caden Durham busts up the middle for the long run, bro. He gotta score that. I don't know if Caden Durham is dealing with an injury or something like that, but the Caden Durham I know from last year, that was a tutty, bro.
Yep.
He was hitting his head on the goalpost, and they didn't score a touchdown right there. They had the touchdown to Xavier Thomas. What happened? They call a false start on Donovan Green. Got to set up for a field goal. I thought that was clearly a big moment in the game where it changed the whole complexion. Because now, instead of being down, what they'd have been down 4, that would have changed the whole scenario on that last drive just now with Vanderbilt. And so, giving them 239 yards rushing, 5.3 yards a carry, it wasn't a good game for the defense. And hats off to Vanderbilt, bro. They did exactly what we talked about all week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, bro. They did a lot of motioning and zone reading, and they running backs was getting those tough yards. Pavia did a good job of when he did keep it. He got some tough yards and kept moving the chains and the time of possession, bro. Vandy had the ball 36 minutes.
Over half.
LSU had it 23 minutes.
That tells the whole story. That's the biggest takeaway. I mean, the other one that I can point out is that there wasn't a punt until the fourth quarter. So, I mean, it was just straight up defense on the burner, getting gas, not to mention Jack Pyburn's hurt. You're obviously without Bernard. You're without Witt. You're without Gabe, without Butler. I mean, bro, the injuries are stacking up at this point when I'm getting a little worried. Obviously, Tyree Adams got out. You saw DJ Chester come in, and they were talking about the versatility, G, but it gets to a point where, like, now I'm wondering, is it versatility or is it like they just don't know where to put him, bro? Like, okay, you're playing tackle, guard, and center because we're trying to find the right fit for you. To your point, yeah, he got pushed around. I'll say 2 positives from today. Harlem Berry, after that third down conversion, I was like, all right, cool. This got to be the hot hand that you're going to be riding. He got a lot of opportunities. I liked what I saw from him. And then Zay Thomas, bro. Oh, my God. Zay Thomas had a drop early on in the game. He made up for it with that miraculous touchdown. I don't know how the hell you catch that, nonetheless score that. So hats off to him. But also, if you zoom in a little closer, G, Nuss is getting pressured. He's got so many people in his face on that throw, having to make that. I feel like the offensive line is definitely going to be a little bit of a worry here. What do you think you do to kind of not really piece this together? But like you hear Brian Kelly double down. No, we want Weston Davis out there. This is the future. So they got the youth that they're trying to develop. But how do you balance that with not hurting your quarterback or hurting your chances to be able to win any game?
There's nothing too much they can do. If you take Weston Davis out, what you going to put Carius Kern, who's a true freshman, in there? Yeah. I mean, you might as well stick with Weston Davis. It is what it is. Tyree going down obviously made the situation worse for the O-line. But again, bro, this wasn't on the offense today. It wasn't. It wasn't on the offense today. I know we've been giving Blake and that defense they flowers all season, but giving up 5.3 yards a carry and 239 yards rushing, and you couldn't get off the field on those key 4 downs, that was the deciding factor in the game, bro. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that.
No, and then, I mean, look, people were talking about the points per game that LSU allowed going in here, 11 points per game. Bro, through like 9 minutes or, a little over 15 minutes, they had 14 points. They scored 31 total points this entire game, stacked onto it. And then talk about the rush lanes, dog. You got all these people playing coverage. I mean, it's hard to tell at times if it's man or it looked like a horrible zone if it were to be zone, but everybody's not paying attention. The safeties are going deep, not looking at the quarterback. There's no eyes on number 2 when he had already made you get punished for that. Like, I was confused by, especially after last week, bro. You play someone like Lenore Sellers, and we keep talking about the containment and how you were able to stop an athlete from breaking you and hurting you with his legs. But then flip forward to this week, and then now it's a completely different story. I'm kind of confused. You think it was edge depth?
No, I think when you look at South Carolina's offense and you look at Vanderbilt's offense, it's just totally different, bro. Vandy does a lot of shifting. They come out with a lot of heavy personnel. And Pavia is a better passer than Lenore Sellers.
Yeah.
He's a better player off script than Lenore Sellers. And that's just what that is. He's a football player, bro. And I just think that Vanderbilt's offensive coordinator, Tim Beck, does a good job of playing to his strengths, bro. And one thing, the mark of a good quarterback, when, like I just said in the beginning of this segment, when things get off script, when things don't go as planned, when you call a certain play, can you improvise? And he does a great job of it. And LSU just didn't have an answer for him. You know, Pyburn had him a couple times on a sack, and what he does, spins out, rolls the other way, throws across his body, completes the pass, first down. I mean, that's the type of plays that was happening all day, dog. And you can't simulate that in practice. You can't.
No. And shout out Alexander, the running back, got out of the game, came back in. He was a nice piece to their offense as well.
Young, the other running back, he did really good. They tight ends played really good.
Yep. They had a lot of, like you said, options, a lot of sweeps, just so many different things to look at on the field, bro. Sometimes they were faking the broadcast camera out, dude, going all over the place trying to find out who the hell got the ball. He don't even know, dog. Like the insanity. What do you think about LSU's future?
They didn't do anything that I didn't expect, bro. They did if you go back and look, if anybody that's watching this stream, go back and look at Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when we talking about this game and what Vandy was going to do and what their defense had to do to stop Vandy's offense.
Yep.
And I alluded to everything they did today, bro. I just thought that LSU's defense was going to be able to get stops when they needed, and they just couldn't get it in the key moments of the game.
I didn't expect it to be to that point. Like Vandy jumping out to that quick 14 whatever lead. LSU really didn't respond in many areas. I mean, yeah, Ramos was able to get you a couple. He missed a big one that would have brought you 16-17, I believe it was. Or you would have been up 16-14, but then they wound up answering with the field goal. Couple of moments that I head scratching for sure. I do have a note here for the offense. I wanted to make this comment. They did try to get creative. They had that fake screen. I think it was to Zay on that left side. Make everybody look. Here comes Trudez. Big 14 across the middle. They were able to hit him, find him for the end zone. I mean, it's not a lack of effort, like you're saying. It's a tough matchup. And I feel like at this point, though, it's gut check time. Like I think next up on the agenda is Texas A&M. And I'm going to kind of start worrying about that one a little bit here. What's your thoughts on that? And then what LSU's got next? Because, hey, it's run the table time, G. If you want to go to the playoffs, you have to be perfect from here on out.
You think Pavia gave him problems? What you think Marcel Reed going to do?
Muy problema.
And you think Marcel Reed don't remember what he did LSU's defense last year? Now, I know there's a totally different defense, and they added some guys, but he's going to have a lot of confidence coming into that game. Whether it's on the road or if they was at home, it don't matter. He's going to have a lot of confidence going into that game, bro. With how the defense played today, you got to know that A&M going to try to take some things they saw Vandy do and implement that in their game plan when A&M come to town, bro. I do think this defense will bounce back, though. I really do. I don't anticipate them having another performance like they did today. I think they'll learn from it. And then don't forget, man, not having Bernard Gooden and not having Whit Weeks, it's a big deal.
Yep.
That's a big deal, bro. It's a big deal. And I know it's a next man up mentality. And look, I thought that Don McKinley, Walter Mattis, Maya Pro, Jacoby and Guillory, I thought they did a solid job. I thought Devon Keys had some bad moments here and there throughout the game.
Yep.
I thought Pert didn't have his best performance today either.
No.
I thought when he did blitz, he was out of control. He let Pavia get out the pocket. I thought that was bad angles. wasn't attacking outside shoulder. So I think they'll get back to the technical part of it and they'll fix these things and be ready for Marcel Reed when he comes to Death Valley.
Yeah, you got no other choice at this point. Got somebody with a question for you in the chat, G. They talking about in a hypothetical situation, if LSU needed a new OC, who do you want? That's tough.
If BK is still a coach, he's probably gonna go after Tommy Reese.
From
That was his OC at Notre Dame. Now he's the quarterbacks coach with the Cleveland Browns. So I would think that would be one of his first picks when you talk about looking for an offensive coordinator.
And before I let you get out, bro, I had this pop in my head during game day. They let James Franklin talk. He obviously, said what you expected. He still wants to win a national championship. All he knows is football, still wants to coach. Bro, I had a light bulb moment. Let's say, hypothetically, Billy Napier does get fired from Florida. Is that a fit or is that just a crazy idea?
I don't know. I would have to see if James Franklin has any ties to Florida. I don't know if he has any connection with the AD strictly. You know, a lot of that be coming into play when you talk about these coaches. You know, they trying to link Dan Mullen to the Penn State job because he's from that area somewhere close to Pennsylvania, and he's familiar with recruiting guys out of that area. So they're trying to say that Dan Mullen would be a great fit for Penn State. I don't know if James Franklin would be a good fit for Florida. I just don't know. I think he's a really good coach, and we talked about it. I thought that the AD made a bad decision firing that dude. Like 13 wins, 11 wins, 10 wins in the last 3 years. You go to the semifinals and you fire him. Yeah, he had some bad losses this year. Don't get me wrong. But what you expecting at Penn State, bro?
Yeah.
I don't. What you expecting to go undefeated every year? I don't know.
Coach Saban doubled down on it too, and he called out the decision making for that point. He's like, "What more do you have to do?" He was like, yeah, he doubled down. Obviously, all the bowl game appearances, college football playoff appearances, the wins, but he even said the point y'all were ranked at what number 2 at the highest. That Penn State got respected the way they were preseason, and they stayed in the poll in the top 5 the way they did through the early season struggles. A lot of people were calling them out for. Why, G? Because of the respect that people have, because of the program that James Franklin built. So I mean, yeah, it'll be weird because they're gonna kind of start to get away from that. And hey, look, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Sometimes Penn State might.
That's what makes me think it has to be something else beyond football that made them make a change with James Franklin. I don't know if him and Kraft, the AD, didn't see eye to eye. I don't know if something else was going on behind the scenes, but that decision just didn't make sense to me. It just didn't.
Well, about to hop out of here, man. How you feeling about the rest of your picks? Alabama, Georgia, Notre Dame.
Feel good about it, man. Right. And look, if we would have added this LSU game to it, I would have got that right because I said LSU was gonna lose this game, bro.
I'll give you the hat tip there.
I think what my prediction score was, I think I said 24-14.
I don't know. I'd have never said 30 plus for Vandy. Yeah, so I know I'm dead wrong on the money.
Yeah, I knew LSU was in trouble, bro. And look, I had a lot of people hitting me up individually after they watched our stream saying, "Man, G, why you hating on LSU?" and blah 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 and all this. I'm like, and now all of them hitting me up in my inbox saying, "Bro, how you knew this was gonna happen?"
Respond with the eye emoji. That's it.
Come on, bro. I don't want LSU to lose, bro. I just know watching Vandy and evaluating these guys and watching LSU, I knew it was gonna be tough. The 11 a.m. kickoff.
Yeah.
Huh?
Rough. Bright and early.
In the BK era, bro, they struggled on when they have 11 a.m. kickoffs, dog. On the road too, I knew it was gonna be a problem, dog. I knew it.
Yeah, hopefully they're able to bounce back though. You got an opportunity here, and if you don't bounce back, then there's gonna be a lot of decisions to make.
And look, for all the LSU fans, like I seen some people putting on Twitter, the season's over. The season is not over. You're gonna have about 2, possibly 3 2-loss teams that make it into that playoff. So LSU got to run the table though. And look, these next 3 games, whoo,
that's harder than it's ever been.
Bama, and then you got Oklahoma at the end. In
a healthy material.
Yeah, if they could run the table the rest of the season, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this.
Oh.
If LSU run the table the rest of this season and get into the playoffs, they're gonna win the national championship.
If LSU runs the table and gets to the playoffs, I'll buzz cut. I'll let you buzz cut my head live on stream.
Live
on stream. I'll reach out.
Right, because think about it, bro. If they run the table, that's a a 5-game winning streak. So they got A&M next. You got Western Kentucky. You got Bama, Oklahoma. I'm missing somebody.
No, that's it. You got a bye week somewhere in there, but that's the
So they
next
got
5
4
weeks.
games left.
Yep.
So if they win these next 4, and you beat Oklahoma in Oklahoma, you beat Bama in Bama, you beat an undefeated A&M team,
Top 5.
you gonna win the Natty. Because you know why? You didn't went through your adversity this year. You lost at Ole Miss. You lost on the road to Vandy, right? And you come and beat those 3 opponents. You're gonna be hitting on all cylinders. You're gonna have all the confidence in the world. You're probably gonna end up hosting the first round playoff game.
NBR.
Now look, this is easier said than done now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
Right? But if they run the table and get in the playoffs, bro, they're gonna win the national championship.
Everything they want's right in front of them, man. It's all about it. Everybody's talking about BK receipts. He's saying keep the receipts.
A lot of pressure, bro. A lot of pressure.
We'll see. Appreciate everybody's time. Appreciate your time, G. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Hopefully we come out on Monday with some brooms, dog. Because, hey, look, this first pick ain't work out too well. At least it was at 11 a.m. Now y'all got the rest of your Saturday to just relax and try to get your mind off of it. Don't watch the Saints game tomorrow because it ain't getting better. It ain't getting better, bro.
Shout out to Spencer Rattler, man. He's doing his thing, though.
You right. Give me 200, Spencer. Come on now. I'll be watching. All right, G. Have a good weekend, bro. Appreciate your time. Later.